The federal government today announced new security measures to try to prevent a repeat of the Christmas Eve near bombing that could have taken down an airliner in Detroit. Fewer passengers will be pulled aside, but officials say this plan should work better to stop terrorists. NBC 10's national correspondent Steve Handelsman is live in Washington. He's got the details. Steve, fill us in.
Tracy, thanks. Good afternoon. What a lot of experts here in Washington, and certainly Obama administration officials, are describing a set of procedures that they say makes a lot more sense. It's just more logical, and they say is more likely to work to catch alleged terrorists headed to the U.S. via airplane than what's been in place since the Christmas Day attack. Under these new plans, screeners from the TSA will be allowed to pull aside anybody who matches the physical description of any suspected terrorist, or has the same name as somebody on any watch list, or fits what's considered a dangerous pattern. For example, let's say U.S. intelligence intercepts chatter about an attack using, say, Indonesian college students. Look for college-age Indonesians flying to the U.S. to be pulled aside and checked. Somebody named Ahmed, anybody with that name would get extra attention, without, of course, any public disclosure about why certain passengers will be subjected to extra screening. Under the new rules, Umar Abdul-Muttalib, charged with terrorism after the bomb in his underwear caught fire on an airliner to Detroit. Abdul-Muttalib would have been subjected to extra screening because his father gave the U.S. government a heads up. Since that thankfully aborted Christmas Eve attack, the new plan is to screen flyers from 14 separate nations, including Abdul-Muttalib's nation, Nigeria, and a bunch of other ones, including, oddly enough, say many people, Cuba. That hasn't really worked because it's made tens of thousands of people be pulled aside, and it's also, frankly, ticked off nations like Nigeria, like Saudi Arabia, who claim to be close allies of the U.S. in the fight against terror. And also it was ineffective, say many experts, because the name of the 14 nations was public. And so al-Qaeda sending anybody to an airliner, on an airliner, headed to the U.S. would be certain to make sure that person didn't fly using a passport from one of the 14 nations. So that plan, nation by nation, is out. The original plan, Tracy, that was used since 9/11, these huge watch lists of people, that's pretty much out. And now we've got, call it case by case, which a lot of experts here in Washington say is kind of what we should have been doing all along. Now it's a theory. We'll see how it works in practice. Tracy, back to you.